Hello, today I am reviewing the Freewell Anamorphic and wide angle kit for the Pocket 3. This costs £130. It comes from Freewell and it is a great kit. Inside you get an anamorphic lens for the Pocket 3, you get a macro lens and you get a wide angle lens all for the Pocket 3, and you get ND filters that you can use with these lenses as well. And spoiler alert, this is a lot better to use than your standard ND filters. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the macro lens on. Now I do find normally when I'm getting things out, particularly sort of ND filters for pocket cameras, I end up smudging them, but these are really quite big. They're really big and they're easy to manipulate, which is really useful. So I can show you the other lenses from a macro point of view. So I'm going to put the macro lens on first. Now automatically I go quite blurry. You'll see why that happens in a moment. So I'm going to put this really close to the camera. So you should be able to see it says Freewell there, and we should be able to see this is the 1.1 anamorphic. Yeah, so there is the 1.1 anamorphic. So in our pack we've got ND8, ND32 and ND128. And what's really good is these NDs go on top magnetically of the lens. So they just fit on top magnetically, which is really good. So it's actually really easy to take these off. You don't need to sort of jam your fingernails into it. They're just really easy to take off. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the wide angle lens on, because the wide angle lens works in conjunction with the macro lens. So I put the wide angle lens on and now you can see the field of view is a lot wider. When I take the two lenses off, you can't see past the black background. When I put these lenses on, you can see past the black background because we are at a wider angle. I think the wide angle lens is really useful and it's nice that you get this in the pack, but really I bought the pack for the anamorphic lens. I absolutely love anamorphic lenses, and you can see here I've got a review of the anamorphic lens for the Pocket 2. So the Pocket 2 anamorphic lenses do not work with the Pocket 3. Now you can see automatically we've got a lot wider there, but we've also got this anamorphic look. It's not a crazy anamorphic look, it's a 1.1 anamorphic instead of your typical 1.33 or 1.15. So I've just done a review of this light, so I'm going to put this light on so we can look at the anamorphic streaking. Do we get any streaking? We certainly get some blur. I'm going to go to cooler lights. Now if I step to the side, we can definitely see we've got some anamorphic blue light streaking there, and that is a practical in-camera effect. That's not a faked effect, that's come all from the anamorphic lens. So now I'm going to go outside and I'm going to do some tests of the different lenses. I'm in a disused car park in Milton Keynes. So this is the anamorphic lens and it just attaches magnetically to the camera lens. So I'm going to recenter. Now I've got the anamorphic on. So have a look at how wide this gate appears. So this is with it on and this is with it off. It's maybe a subtle feature, but we shall see how we get on. Now I'm going to put the wide angle lens on. So here in my hand I have the wide angle and the macro lens, and I'm now going to attach it to the Pocket 3. So I'm going to recenter. This gives a wide angle field of view compared to the standard lens, and I'm now going to take it off. That's normal. And this is wide angle. So I've now put the camera in manual settings, so I'm 1/50 of a second for good motion blur, and I'm on quite a low ISO between 50 and 800, and you can see it's overexposed. But this set comes with ND filters. This is ND64 that I've put on, And so now that corrects the exposure. So I'm going to do some walking. This is with the wide angle lens, and we should be able to see really good motion blur compared to automatic exposure. And you might see up here we're getting a little bit of distortion as we get close to it, because we are obviously on a wider angle. So you can see that this is distorting quite a lot, this straight line. It's only when we move really far back that we avoid the distortion. So now we've got the anamorphic lens on with the ND, and we're using a shutter speed of 1/50th at 24 frames per second. What does this look like? Does this give smooth motion? So what do I think of these? These are very expensive at £130, but they do drastically transform your DJI Pocket 3. The ND filters are really useful because you can put specialist lenses on the front of your Pocket 3, and then you can add ND filters, because that is really going to help you get cinematic footage. So it's really easy to just use the ND filters themselves. These ND filters you can just stick on the front of your Pocket 3 without the lenses, and that's obviously going to have an effect and can help you achieve the 180-degree shutter rule. They're not difficult to get off, which is great, because most of the ND filters I've used with the Pocket 3 are really fiddly to get off. You either end up getting your fingerprints on them or you end up dropping them. These you don't. You get a macro lens, which isn't particularly useful for most people, a wide angle lens and an anamorphic lens. I'm just probably going to have the anamorphic lens on all the time. One thing to mention, the anamorphic macro and wide angle lens will have to come off when you close the camera down. I think you can keep the ND filters on and they will close up in the camera. Thank you. Goodbye.